Hello, my name's Paul Gow. I'm the CEO of Tribeca Resources. Tribeca Resources is a TSXV listed junior copper explorer working in northern Chile. We've recently completed a drilling program at our Chiricuto project. We put out a news release a couple of days ago, but I just wanted to give you a little more flavour in this video. I will be making some forward statements, so you can read this disclaimer at your leisure. The Chiricuto project, it sits up in northern Chile in what we call the Manto Verde district. It's a zone of very strong IOCG, iron oxide copper gold style mineralization in northern Chile. You'll see here, this is the project location, and this is the Manto Verde mine of Capstone out to the west, Santo Domingo over here to the east, and then there are a couple of other copper resources owned by Capstone and Golden Arrow through the area. There are also a couple of porphyry copper deposits, Inca de Oro, owned by Panos and Codelco here, and the smaller Berta system. So this slide is really showing you what got us into the area, as well as the extensive copper mineralization. It's also the data that we have from the Chiricuto project that was pre-existing. Very large magnetic anomaly here, about sort of 3,000 to 4,000 nanotesla, so very intense. And signs of magnetite alteration on surface related to that system. So that's what got us in here in the first place. Look, once we came in about 12 months ago, we did a set of work. On the left, you'll see the results of the geological mapping, and on the right, you will see the results from the gradient array survey that we completed, gradient array IP survey and MT that we completed last October. On this image on the right, you'll see the outline of the magnetic anomaly that originally got us into this area. So the key thing to note on this geological mapping is up here in the northwest. You'll see that there is all of this alteration mapped: chloride, epidote, chloride, silica, and calcite alteration, which is very prominent in the northwest, and that correlates with the IP chargeability that we see in this survey, particularly this zone of very high intensity to the north. So we've drilled two targets in this area. We drilled this northern alteration IP target with 3 holes, hole 1, 4, and 5, and then we drilled holes 2 and 3 into this magnetic system down in the south. To date, we've only received results from the labs for hole 1, 2, and 3, which I will talk about today. So that hole 1 way up in the north, it was a relatively deepish hole, 456 metres, and whilst we came into the area looking for IOCG mineralisation, we actually intersected a porphyry-style system with a lot of veining and local stockworks, quartz veins, many with pyrite and plus or minus chalcopyrite. Now, the interesting thing is in this deep hole, the veining was pretty much present, and the sulfide pretty much present all the way down that hole. So if we do the stoichiometry on the assay data, it comes out with approximately 4% sulfide down the entire hole. And so that's really indicating why we see that very strong IP anomaly. So that's what this sort of core looks like in a little more detail. You'll see these veins, that's quartz pyrite veins there. And this sort of stockwork of veins through this area down this core here. This is a much thicker vein and actually has a calcite through the middle of it and quite extensive pyrite, chalcopyrite, and that'll be actinolite on the margins there. We do also see some tourmaline in these rocks, as well as a lot of the host rock is altered to either albite or K-feldspar. We did see a little bit of IOCG style veining. You'll see this down to the south, but typically in thinner bands. This is mushketavite here, plus or minus other minerals, including pyrite, chalcopyrite, and this is more your classic magnetite, actinolite, albite, pyrite alteration. So in terms of copper, what did we see? When we look at the assays from this hole 1 and we take a cutoff of about 0.1 copper, there were 3 intervals sort of between about 10 to 16 metres each that were in that 0.1 to 0.12 copper range. Interestingly, very strong gold with 2 of those intervals, nearly half a gram, 0.47 and 0.53 gold in those 10 to 16 metre intervals. So, relatively impressive gold values. We sort of knew that. The soils that we'd run in this area indicated that it was gold rich, so not entirely a surprise. Cobalt and molybdenum that we often see with systems in northern Chile in the coastal belt also elevated. Maximum cobalt individual assay about 250 ppm, maximum molybdenum individual 2-meter assay of about 95 ppm from memory. So that's the northern target that we've looked at, hole 1. We're still waiting on assays from hole 4 and 5. The 2 holes that we drilled into this ground magnetic anomaly were hole 2 and 3. They both intersected very strong magnetite alteration, as you would imagine, but more the IOA, iron oxide apatite style of mineralization rather than IOCG, iron oxide copper gold. There was, however, minor chalcopyrite present. This is what that core looks like, this sort of massive magnetite replacement, blebby sulfides. This is pyrite with a bit of chalcopyrite in there as well. Maximum iron assay interval was 18 metres at 26% iron in hole 3. So that's the results from the first 3 holes of the drilling program. We're still awaiting results from holes 4 and 5. I hope that gives you a flavour for what we're starting to see in these holes, and keep an eye out, and once we get 4 and 5 we'll put that news out there. Okay, thanks very much.